currently have 3 months worth of inventory sitting at my factory that I cannot bring to the US. I have maybe 2 months worth left in my warehouse in Minnesota, and when that's gone, I have no more revenue. I cannot pay my employees, I cannot pay my bills, I cannot pay the loans which I have leveraged my house against, so we could lose our house. I do not have the $230,000 that were just immediately dropped in front of me to get my products into the US. So I am asking, begging for support from both sides of both parties to support our small businesses and get rid of these tariffs on US-owned small businesses. It doesn't just affect me. When I go out of business, it affects all of those contractors that I pay to help me with my business, all those American-owned businesses, my trucking company that brings me my container, the bookkeepers and accountants and marketing teams that work with me. They now don't get to have the revenue they're getting from me, and I'm just one business that's at risk of going out of business. There are thousands of us. So this is hurting more than just people importing from China.
I think that one of the things that drives me the most crazy about this is that we have big companies like Apple who have a connection in the White House. They know who to call. They have the wherewithal to give $1 million to President Trump's inauguration ceremony. They get seated right up there on the dais on Inauguration Day when the people standing with us today have no capacity to accomplish that. And what happens? Apple gets a carve out and these guys are left holding the bag. And that is wrong, and we cannot put up with it.
My name is TJ Samanchian, and we import coffee from farmers from around the world. And right now I'm facing that all the coffee that we import is going to get hit with a tariff. I think the thing I want to underscore, there's been a lot of words shared, a lot of personal stories shared, but that we here, us small businesses, we are on the front line of these tariffs. We are the ones who are paying it. I had to go to my bank and ask for an additional line of credit just to finance the tariff tax. We are the ones who need to come up with the money, and if we can't come up with the money, and like in Beth's case, our product is at risk. So everything that we buy is now at least 10% more, and I don't know, we have countries that we buy from that are on the reciprocal tariff list. And so I don't even know what the cost of some of my product is gonna be, that's gonna be shipping to me pretty soon. And so again, I got into coffee because of relationships with farmers I have in Latin America and Africa, that our supply chains are very personal to us. There are real people on the other end of this supply chain. These are relationships I've developed over 2 decades in the coffee industry. These are complex supply chains, and we are at risk of disrupting that, and these are things we can't just change overnight. I think anyone who knows about business, about importing, international trade, any of that would know this, that these are the simple rules of business, that they are depending on relationships that take months and years to develop. And we are at risk of losing those relationships. So I also want to just share with my colleagues up here and asking for support for small businesses.
70 countries are now going, wait a minute, Mr. President, can we talk? Hey, wait, we want to do a deal. We want to negotiate. You see, when you stand firm, when you tell folks you ain't going to take advantage of us no more, it's amazing the things that happen. And I know these tariffs are going to work because the same attitude, the same posture worked for the border. You see, none of you liberals want to talk about the border anymore. Prior to Trump getting in office, you kept telling us it was unfixable. They needed more legislation. You needed more government. No. All you needed was to impose the laws you had. All you needed was someone who would stand up and say, hey, stop sending them, take them back, or here's what we're going to do. And because of that, illegal immigration is almost unmeasurable. It's down to nothing. No one talks about it anymore because Trump stood up. That's what he's doing on these tariffs. He is telling these countries enough is enough. You have overcharged us. You've taken advantage of us for decades. We're going to start charging you back. And ain't it crazy? These countries are talking about zero tariff. Hey, Countries who have never allowed our products into their country are saying, hey, we can work something out. Look, there's going to be some pain. Yeah, the stock market boys are going to take a hit. But hear me, the stock market is not the economy. And by the way, it's not a profit or loss in the stock market until you buy or sell. You should be looking at the long term. You should be thinking about the future. But you know, all you people who are screaming about the economy, what you want to do is you want to pass the deficit and the trade deficit onto our children, our grandchildren. Well, Trump's doing the tough stuff. He's standing up and saying, we got to fix it now. If you're like me and ready to bring businesses, jobs, manufacturing back to the U.S., to be able to provide for men and women in this country a meaningful, well-paying job that they can take pride in, creating solid products here in our own country instead of buying it from overseas. But even if you disagree with everything I say, answer me this. What we're doing ain't working. That's a fact. What would you do? That's right. You ain't got to answer, Cupcake. All you want to do is complain and scream. Yeah, I'm ready to rebuild America. I'm ready to put Americans first. Just like President Trump did on the border, he's now doing it with these tariffs. I support President Trump on these tariffs. I hope you do too.
Why did Mr. President even think that people are coming to take advantage of the US? I don't know where he actually got that from, that's one. And secondly, MAGAs are not only biting their fingers in pins right now, but they're getting their ass whooped as businesses are shutting down. See, businesses are not only shutting down in the US currently, but a lot of people do not even want to trade with any single person that it is trading in US right now. Do you know why? Tariffs. Because if they calculate the tariffs and they do not want it to actually affect their business, they are going to be withdrawing their business. You can hear from the first person how right now she cannot even do business with US. The second person, coffee business is already crashing down. And I keep asking myself this question: when will Mr. President see and help these said people that actually support him? Because if you're not considering anybody, you should be able to consider people that actually put you there. What is happening? Am I the only one in this? Let me know in the comment section. Welcome back to the channel. Sonia, and I'm back again with another mind-blowing video. How you guys doing? Hope you guys are fine. Hope you guys are cute. If it's the first time tuning in, do it, subscribe, like this video, drop me your comments, and lastly, do not forget to share for every other person to get this good news. As you can see from our titles, a lot is already happening with MAGAs, their companies, their businesses, and every single thing. Anyways, I will let you guys dive into it so that you guys can enjoy the full clips of this video. Every clips and stitches used in today's episode, credit belongs to original creators of these videos. I stand a chance to be corrected where you think I'm wrong. This video is just for educational purpose. Let's dive right into it, and I'll be back with commentaries.
So last night we closed our US website, so we're not accepting orders from the USA at the moment. Hopefully this is just temporary, but it was something, like, it was a really hard decision to make, but it was one that I just had to make. When tariffs went over 100% on Chinese made goods into the US yesterday, I was like, well, literally we can't make any money. So we make our product in China. So it's full of bust swimwear. It's like basically like a bra. It's got underwire, power mesh. We do 66 bra sizes. It's like really, really technical and really good quality. And I have not been able to find anyone else that has the expertise to make it to this standard, let alone make it, to be honest. Like, no one wants to do underwire swimwear. Like, it's way too complicated. And it's not super efficient on a production line. But like, we've got our supplier who we've got a really good relationship in China. They're so good. They're like the experts. And so our goods are made there. Then we send them to Australia. And then they stay at our warehouse in Melbourne, Australia. And that's where we ship our orders from. So when we're sending bikinis to our US customers, we have to declare that they're made in China. So once they get to the US, if tariffs are over 100%, if we're paying the duties, like we're covering that cost, we're having to pay. So if a bikini top is $100, it gets to the US and tariffs are, say, 105%. We have to pay $105 to the US government. So literally we just wiped all our revenue. Like, it's just, so yesterday I just had to make that call. I was like, well, it's a no-brainer. I'm turning off the website. And like, I don't want to put that cost onto our US customers either. I want to be able to absorb that or cover it, because it's just like a better experience for customers. There's no questions, like it's not a surprise when the goods get to the US and they have to pay these tariffs. Like, where I think it's important as a brand, if you can, to like cover those costs and do duties paid. So yeah, it's, as a small business, so sad, especially because we sell swimwear. And this time now it's getting cooler in Australia, so we're not really getting many Australian sales. And usually we sell to the US at this time of year. We were actually getting quite a few sales over the last couple of weeks. And yeah, we've just literally just turned that off. Yeah, I feel really bad for everyone in the US, and like just the uncertainty and like how expensive their goods are going to be, if they can even get stuff. Because I assume lots of other brands are going to stop being able to sell to the US. Yeah, so feeling for you all in the US right now. Also feeling for the small brands that are going to like lose a lot of business from the US, and who are also just like, God, tariffs are so confusing. Like, I kind of only understand it because I studied economics and finance. Like, it doesn't even come naturally to me, but I know what a tariff is. So I know to sort of like be able to read into it a little bit more. Yeah, it's a really tough time. Thinking of all you small businesses, and let me know how you're going with this, what your strategy has been. Keen to hear from you, and yeah.
I can't tell you how brutal these tariffs are. I'm a small business. I sell travel and organization products. My brand sells to Nordstrom, Macy's, Anthropologie, and also my direct-to-consumer site. But I'm telling you, everything is so uncertain right now and scary, and some big opportunities that we're going to be kicking off are on hold. I'm just like, what is going to happen? I'm trying not to stress. I've been through over 20 years of business. What goes down comes up, what's up comes down, but this is just like absolutely unprecedented. So if you had your eye on any of my products, I tagged one here, check it out, because I might have to raise my prices, and I can't imagine doing it. I don't want to do that. It's like a bad dream, and all I can do is just try and be optimistic, but damn. So support your small businesses right now. If you see something that you love, snatch it up, because prices are going to be increasing. I'm a self-funded small business. This is my livelihood. This is my everything.
I don't know if you've heard, but Trump has decided to get rid of the U.S. customs law that allowed packages that were valued under $800 to go through U.S. customs duty-free. Please understand that this legislation helped so many people, just not businesses, right? From a small business standpoint, it helps us because we're able to order packaging that is relatively easy to manufacture and cheap to manufacture overseas. Get that here in the United States, where it's quite literally not even possible to do so, or it's an abhorrent amount of money to do so. But it also helps the consumer buy things that are relatively cheap from overseas and ship them to the United States for next to nothing. So what does this mean for the average consumer? Okay, so for the first 6 months, they're going to institute this flat fee bullshit of $80 to $200 per package. Did you hear what I said? Did you hear what I said? Now, it's hard for me to even take their word as word because they be going back and forth. But anyway, $80 to $200, which means your $12 dress from Shein will now cost you $92. After that 6-month period, it's going to be, the tariff will be based on the value of the package and then obviously where the package is originating from. And how he feels today, what type of tariff he feels like passing down today. So, twas fun. Twas fun. We ain't about to get nothing from overseas. Sorry. Like, listen, I love American designers and American companies. I think that shit's great. But baby, we can't do it all. You know what I'm saying? And let's be realistic. We shouldn't have to do it all. Like, it would be dumb to think that we don't have, global international relationships with other people who can produce things of greater value for less and send it to us. What's the logic here? Like, I'm not an economist by any means, but I at least have enough sense to know that's going to be detrimental to most small businesses and most consumers. Doesn't really sound like a great idea. Even if we do make some money on this, that doesn't sound like a good idea.
Do people even seen anything yet? Have you people even seen the one that is coming? I don't know. I just have this weird feeling that a lot is still going to be happening that would actually not sit well. Because if businesses are already moving, what happens to the citizens? Let's continue this video and I'll be back with commentaries.
I feel like the past 24 hours has just been a complete nightmare. 104% on imports coming from China. 104%. And that means my small business that I put everything into is fucking done. I quit my corporate job about a year and a half ago to chase my dreams. I designed and launched a kids fitness brand and it was going great. I paid fair wages. I built relationships. And then overnight, the cost just more than doubled. My margins were gone. You know, my business doesn't pay for a yacht or a private jet. It pays for our daughter's swim classes. It covers groceries. It helps with babysitters for date nights. This isn't just numbers on a policy sheet. It's real people, real jobs, real families. And now I'm back at square one. So wish me luck.
I want to talk real quick about how Trump's tariffs are affecting real small businesses. Okay, I own my own store, my own small business, and I sell crystals, tea, magic-y herbs, art, bath and body, all sorts of stuff. I make my own natural stone jewelry over here. I had a order made up for things I needed to reorder. I needed new crystals, new incense, all this stuff. Everything has gone up in price since when I had like put it in the cart. I haven't bought it yet. Everything has gone up in price by 20 to 30%, sometimes more depending on where it's coming from. And I already hear the right bargain. Well, just buy American. Just get those supplies from America. Yeah. I can't order like crystals, you know, from America. Okay. I can. Look, I can. And I do often. But the people that I buy it from in America do not get them in America because America does not produce every type of crystal that we need, right? So even if it's an American company who are making these towers, right? They shape these towers, these moonstone towers. The moonstone does not come from America, okay? This had to be imported, okay? Most crystal factories are India, Brazil, China, Indonesia, all of it over there. So everything has gone up, like astronomically. I make my own jewelry, right? I make my own jewelry, okay? But again, these stones do not come all from America, right? My materials, my wire that I use, the chains that I use, guess what? It doesn't come from America. I'm an American person making American-made jewelry, but the inputs do not all come from America because we don't have the infrastructure, simply. I'll give you another example. Everybody loves this incense, right? The Nag Champa. I carry quite a bit of it. I'm super duper out. I need to order. I usually have like 12 different kinds of this. I need to reorder it. Guess what? It's made in India, okay? This is a tried and true trusted brand. Everybody loves this incense. It's not overpowering, but it smells really good. Like this is the gold standard for incense. It's made in India. Even if I import, or even if I'm buying it from an American company has imported it from India. Yeah. Here's another great example. I carry American made tea, right? A great, awesome American maker makes this loose leaf tea that I carry in my store. Do we think that this package was made in America? I bet it wasn't. Everybody that is making American, that is an American business owner, relies on world trade to be successful. Bottom line, period. And I am terrified because I do not know what this means long term for my business. The price of everything will inevitably go up because the person who makes the tea now needs to cover their materials, which has gone up. I mean, it's such a slippery slope, and we are so fucking screwed. I have been in business a year and a half. I mean, longer. I have been a brick and mortar for a year and a half. I have been doing great business, but I have seen the trend of the economy in sales already. And now I'm like looking at what I can order and my prices have gone up. And I'm like, what, how is this going to work out? Cause I was doing fine. And now I don't know if I can cover those those margins to make it profitable so I can like feed my family. Yeah. So if you made it all the way through this video, I super appreciate it. Please support your small businesses in your town. If you want to support mine, I'll tag it below. I would super appreciate it because I am scared right now. that was a knock at the door, and the UPS delivery guy just stopped by, and he said, "Hey, I have a delivery for you, and I just want to let you know I have to collect a tariff in order for me to deliver this." And I said, Yep, I saw it come through. So I was tracking my package from my pin manufacturer, and it said at the top, $87 is going to be due for tariffs. Now, this is $87 that is brand new. This is a brand new fee from these stupid tariffs that have been implemented. And so instead of, I didn't know how the process went. So instead of having this package delivered to my client directly, I had it delivered to me because I wanted to see how these tariffs work. And so how they work is that they basically, UPS or your delivery method of shipment, collects these on behalf of, I guess, and reports it to the government. I'm not sure how this happens beyond that, but I know that I paid $87 today to receive 100 custom pins for my client. So I'm repackaging these puppies, and I am sending them to their destination in Texas. This is literally something that I hate to include in the cost of it. So I take pretty much a lot of the ownership of a tariff to keep the pins affordable, because otherwise, how are you going to do business, right? So yeah, these are what the pins look like. I do enamel pins for pride festivals, nonprofit orgs. I have a corporate client in the United States that I work with. So basically whatever pin people need, I've adjusted my prices a little bit, but really it's, we're eating the cost of a lot of this stuff. So this is the Donald Trump tariff. So I am now being forced to pay, even though I'm not getting any benefit from this. This is the cost of doing business, apparently. So yeah, FDT.
It is sad that once a country that the president think that people are taking opportunity from, that same country, people are now withdrawing. People are now saying, we are no longer doing. People are now saying, we no longer give a damn. People are now saying, we no longer give a F. You understand? This is the full version of the F around and find out, honestly, because what is all this? If businesses are not moving on, no, definitely the prices of things are just going to go high. A lot of people don't even come for me in the comment section, because some persons will be like, it is not new. It has been there right from 2014, 2023, and so on and so forth. Yes, it has been there, but in 2025, the rate of businesses that have actually withdrawn from US, it is now bigger. It is now higher, all in the name of the honorable president actually wants to make a point. That's just it. He just want to make a point that yes, tariffs will work, even when he is saying that it is not working. I have been able to prove that point, and I want to make it look exactly what I've been able to prove. When do these politicians stop being selfish and then consider the interests of their voters? Anyways, I'm not even blaming him. After all, they put him there. One thing I will keep saying in my videos, if you keep following me back to back, I said it. I said, Trump never lied, right? He said it that this is what is actually going to do. He said it that this is how it is going to be. And he is pulling out what he actually said. Just that a lot of MAGAs are just finding out that the way he said it, they didn't know that it is going to be like that or it's going to end up like that. And to be honest, if this man should stay till 4 years, a lot more is going to happen. A lot more is going to be crashing, because people can no longer feed. People can no longer even continue their businesses. Farmers are complaining. Truck companies are withdrawing. Curtains, coffee, and so on and so forth. Those major things that actually bring in resources, those major things that actually making the economy good, is what is being taken. Now, who is this tariffs going to be affected? In as much as a lot of people will be like, we've heard this over and over again, it is you that is going to be affected. It is you that is going to be affecting. And it is not only going to be affecting US, it is also going to be affecting those of us that are smaller countries, those of us that are African countries, right? I keep saying it. Whatsoever affects US in one way or the other affects us as well. And of which is really, really bad. I just hope MAGAs will be able to learn from their mistake. Because what is that logo of Make American Great Again? Instead of the greatness, we are degrading, or how? How? Let's just wake up to our reality. Let's just wake up to what we are facing. See, it is important now that as it stands now, start looking out for businesses you can switch into if this particular one you're doing currently collapse. You understand? Because a lot is going to be collapsing in as much as these tariffs keep coming. These tariffs is not even going away. A lot of people are still going to be starving. So it is even very important right now that you start looking for means whereby you can have as like a second hope That's for people that have second hope, right? And start looking for things that can make living not too expensive for you. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comment section. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe, like, comment, and share. Every video and stitches used in today's episode probably belongs to the original creators of this video. And yes, with no further ado, like I always say in my videos, I'm going to be Simba, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Comment your thoughts in the comment section. I would really love to hear that, okay? Anyways, bye guys. I love you. Magas for Trump. Magas for Trump. Magas for Trump. You people have just finished us in every area. I just hope you guys learn, because a lot will not still learn. It is well. Bye.